Sriperumbudur, about 25 kilometers from the metropolis of Chennai, is often called the Detroit of South India. It is of course the main manufacturing hub of Hyundai and Ford and BMW. It is also home to the MMRT, one of India's premier racetracks. But for one weekend in July, Sriperumbudur played host to some of India's fastest rally cars. Welcome to the AVT Premium South India Rally. I'm Joel Pereira and we start this show in the pit lane of the MMRT circuit in Chennai, the start line of the AVT South India Rally. We've got 29 cars lined up to hit the special stages in what promises to be an exciting weekend of motorsport. South India Rally is the third leg of the 2014 season of the IRC, but it's also one of India's oldest motorsports events. This is its 39th year running.
In those days, when I did my first rally was 1972, which was incidentally the South India Rally, which was run over 3,800 kilometers, 2 nights away. We used to go to Kerala, we used to go to Karnataka, Andhra and Tamil Nadu. But it was more like TST format. It was in fact essentially a TST format rally. We used to have a 4-man team, 2 navigators, 2 drivers, so that we would take turns and things like that. Now it's become a proper stage rallying. I mean, it's changed in concept.
I think professionalism has increased substantially. There are people who are a lot more committed. It's no longer just a weekend effort. The format of the event has changed. Rallies in the old days were on open roads and substantially longer. I remember helping service teams which ran over 3 and 4 days. But now it's a much more compact on closed roads.
Essentially circuit track spread over Sriperumbudur with 3 special stages: the MMRT, which runs around the tarmac at the Madras Motorsport Racetrack, Avisa inside the under construction Avisa Golf Course, and IVRCL. It's a total loop of 292.47 kilometers with 181.84 kilometers of liaison and 110.65 kilometers of super stages. Each stage has to be run 3 times with 2 loops on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. The name of the game here is to complete the stage as quickly as possible, and timing differences between drivers go down to fractions of seconds. The AVT South India Rally is all down and dirty speed.
They seem to be reasonably quicker than last year. What's happening is the surface. There's nothing you can do about it. The surface is quite loose at a lot of places, so tendency to get bogged down is quite high. But apart from that, the stages are wide. So what happens, basically it's reasonably safe, very safe to really drive hard.
Very, very fast stages. Very nice to drive, and I think the track's also not been that rough.
Lots of tight corners, so quite physical.
The stages compared to last year were fantastic. Last year the same stages were very, very bad than this, but this year very, very nice.
It doesn't matter, rally drivers are far more versatile than any other drivers around on the planet. So because we guys end up driving, for example, it's just started to pour and we'll still be going flat out, and whether it's snow, rain, forest or tarmac roads, for us it's everything same, and we need to just focus and be flat out all the time.
We caught up with Vikram, Devadasen and Srikanth from Team Yokohama for a ride along during the recce of all the stages.
Small bump, minus, lose, 10 left, 10 right. The objective is to, so that when notes are called out to you, you get a mental image, a mental picture of what's coming up in the next few seconds. So that enables you. So what happens is your pace notes describe the curve, and if there are any other, features along with the terrain. So, things like bumps, jumps, crests, etc. are described. So even if you have a turn over a crest, what happens is, your notes tell you that it's a 10 left, which is more or less a 90 degree left over a crest. So even though you can't see, you go through.
There's also the super special stage, and it's all controlled from the MMRT's high-tech control center.
Installed 18 cameras around the track, and so we could go live on 2 stages. The dirt stage, which was about 9.7 kilometers long, and the super special stage, which was about 3.08 kilometers in length. So we gave them live coverage of these 2 stages, which has never happened in Indian rally.
The rally promised to be fast, technical and highly demanding, with drivers trying to prevent their worst nightmare, getting a DNF on your timesheet. In Indian rallying, passion is everything for the participants of the IRC, and nothing is more heartbreaking than a driver who, try as he might, can't get the car to continue. The Indian Rally Championship this year stands divided into 4 categories. For the rookies, there's the FMSCI 1600cc Cup, then the IRC 1600cc category, similar powered but with drivers with more experience, the 2000cc category, and lastly, there's the overall category, which is where the big boys compete. The ceremonial start of the AVT South India Rally took place at the Express Avenue Mall in the heart of Chennai. And present to flag off the drivers was former tennis champ and local hero Vijay Amritraj.
I wish each and every one of you a wonderful weekend of this rally. I hope that you will enjoy it as much as you will compete.
Fanfare complete, the cars headed to Parc Fermé for the first competitive start the following morning. Here's a full list of all crews competing. Reigning APRC champion Gaurav Gill was in the picture of supreme confidence as he always was, and that's because after his recce, the realization set in that the Evos are going to have an advantage.
I mean, we knew that this rally is not going to be easy or a walk in the park for us because the route is very, very open and very fast. And of course, Sammy's Evo and Abhilash's Evo 6, they're obviously the fastest cars and the obvious choice for this kind of or any rally.
So here's what the cars at the AVT South India Rally will be driving on. Gravel. We're right in the middle of the second stage of the rally, and this is pretty representative of what the cars are going to be facing. Now, we spoke to some of the drivers yesterday after the recce, and they were pleased with the conditions because what you have here are smooth, wide flowing tracks, hard for packed gravel. Perfect for high speeds. Since the distances at the IRC are relatively short, there really isn't any warm-up period for the car or driver. You hit the ground running and you stay that way till the end of the race. Hitting the ground running is always a great plan, and once you put your helmet on and set your pace notes in order, it comes down to man, machine and clock. But then sometimes it's difficult to stick with that plan, as everything on the track conspires to stop you dead in your tracks. And that's exactly what happened to Mahindra Adventure's Kadur and Srinivas Murthy, set aside by a mechanical failure in the very first stage.
First stage one is very wide and visible to this thing, all the stretches, 300 meters, 500 meters. Car will be very fast, and also in corners will slide. This is seen in this stage one. Stage two is a little bit technically tough compared to the stage one. It's a little bit gravel and mixed terrain. Also, it's not like the tricky one. And the stage three, again, once again, comes with very tight corners and sharp rights and hairpin curves. These are totally three different stages.
Things didn't go to plan for the team of Dean Mascarenas, with Shanmunga as a co-driver and Duva Chandrasekhar and Rupesh BC either, as both cars crashed out during the first loop. Gaurav Gill's pre-race analysis was prophetic, as Sameer Thapar in the Evo 10 kept the fastest times, with Gaurav Gill close on his tail and Abhilash in the second Evo putting the pressure. Chasing them down was Arjun Rao and VIKRAM Devadasen in the Polos.
We're trying to hold Abhilash back as much as we can, so we're trying to push as hard as we can every stage. We've been able to do that so far, so it's been a good day. We're quite, I wouldn't say very comfortable, but we're still in the lead. We need to do the same thing again tomorrow for the next loop and put Abhilash, make him stay where he is and hold on to our second position.
We started out quite on a strong note, but second stage we had a little engine trouble, and after that I had no power at all, so we were just pushing as much as we could to come home to service. We've lost quite a few seconds, but we'll hopefully go out and make it up now in the next loop.
We are running third overall, but second stage we had rear damper issues, and the third stage we lost 30 seconds because we had a flat 4 kilometers in the stage. So we are okay, but the second loop we'll try to make it up.
At the end of Loop 1, the cars head to service for a quick fix as the drivers too take a short break. We're going to take one too, but before we go, here's a look at the leaderboard. Coming up after the break, Loops 2 and 3 and the big winners of the day come right back.